Hi folks, I'm Mara from the Mental Health and Wellbeing team at the Halifax and Region MFRC. I'm going to be talking about staying connected during a deployment. This is a time for planning if you have a deployment coming up, and I want to give you some tips on how you as a couple can come together and talk about the things that might be difficult, plan for them, and set yourselves up for success. So if you want to do this with some coaching during an appointment with a counselor, that's something you can definitely set up. You can contact us at the MFRC at 902-427-7788. One appointment, 2 appointments, or a series we can set up to try to get you in a good place where you know how you're going to approach this time. But if you're not going to be meeting with us, or even in addition to meeting with us, there are things you can do on your own. And this is going to be the first in a series of 3 videos where I talk about some things you can do as a couple to prepare. There's a couple things you might want to do. So I'm going to run through a couple thoughts about that. One of them is reviewing past learnings. Another one is about talking about hopes and feelings. And the third one is about making a practical plan. So I'm going to go through them with a little more detail. First off, in terms of reviewing past learnings, you have past experience that's going to inform this. Perhaps you've had a past deployment, or maybe they went away on training or a short sail or imposed restriction, or maybe you just even went on a long trip without your partner at some point. But think about what happened to you emotionally during that time. How did communication go? Are there things that you need to pay attention to about that? So some questions you might want to talk to with your partner, talk through are, what was helpful and made me feel connected? What was the hardest part about communicating while we were apart? And the third one is, was there something that your partner did that was really helpful that you wish they had done more of, or that this time you're hoping they'll do more of? So that can be a great place to start. Now, the second thing I would recommend is talking about hopes, dreams, and needs. Recognizing that being separated for a period of time because of work can really trigger different kinds of feelings in us. We could have a time where we feel really desperate for connection. We could feel like we've been abandoned, and that could bring up a feeling of really needing a lot of connection. Or some people will respond to that by feeling like, well, you're gone, so I guess I need to move on, and emotionally they'll kind of shut down. Those are 2 extremes, but they can appear in lots of levels within us. So we could have one partner that's sort of pulling away and one partner that's really wanting to be close, or both of you could be pulling away. Who knows what your style is? Or maybe you're both just very steady. But talk through how you think that's likely to come up, because it can help you to talk about what would be the most helpful for you and what you need. And dream big about how connection could work when you're apart. And then you can make a realistic plan, maybe scales down a little bit. So then the third one is about planning. So when it comes to planning, it makes a difference to talk through, okay, there might be obstacles. Maybe we won't be able to connect. Maybe the internet's going to go down, or we won't have phone access. But we would like to communicate in the following ways. You can plan to email, text, send letters, chat, video call. It's not the old days with satellite phones and, ship to shore. I'm not sure. But we have a lot of ways of connecting now. So talk about your plan together, and then recognize, okay, there might be times we want to talk with the kids. There might be times we want to talk on our own as grown-ups. And also, if we have a period of time where we can't reach each other, if communication goes down, what are we going to do? How are we going to relate to that time? Are we going to write notes to each other to give when the time comes that we reconnect? Or are we going to need an extra long call when the time comes that we can communicate again? So planning for how we're going to deal with those times that we can't control. So those are some thoughts. And if you want to work through this with someone, contact us at the MFRC and we'll make time to set up with you and your partner. Take care.